Excellent. Okay. Well, first, I just want to thank everybody for coming. It means a ton to us to have people here, and I know people came from really far, and so I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for joining us. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and explain our fairly non-traditional name. Emmet Sasson is a name that combines truth, which is Emmet, and joy, Sasson. It is a name that connects our son with Purim, which is his father's favorite holiday, in ways that inspire us and remind us of the core message of Purim, beyond the costumes and goodies that sometimes dominate our thinking about this day. Briefly, the story of Purim follows Esther as she's chosen to become a queen by King Ahasuerus. At that time, the people were against the Jews, and she was instructed to hide her identity. After she becomes queen, the situation escalated, and the king allowed for a decree that our people should be destroyed on the 14th of Adar. Esther draws on her faith in God and fasts, and when she goes before the king and reveals who her people are, the tides are reversed, and all of the evil plans to hurt the Jews are transformed into events that give them light, happiness, and joy. Ora v'simcha v'sason v'yakar. Notably, as the story plays out, God is missing from the page. But from the events that take place, the coincidences, the reversal, and transformation of every evil thing, and the happy ending when things once seemed so dark, show us that although God is not mentioned, his love and care for goodness is all over the story. The hidden truth that everything that happens is actually for the good. This kind of truth is deeper and not always easy to see in our lives today, where the world can seem both confusing and very dark sometimes. But on Purim, we are reminded that we need to rise to a higher level, to elevate our understanding, to see the truth that the actions of the Blessed Mordecai and Cursed Haman, the human actors, are equally less important than God's guiding hand, which takes care of us all. It is a joyful truth to recognize this in our lives. So this name, Emmet Sasson, our dear son, I hope for you that you will always keep this joyful truth before your eyes and remind others to do the same. Our journey so far, since we knew you were coming back in the summer of 2023, has included many turns that remind us how different the future can be from what we expect or lay plans for. And as one of so many couples, hang on one second, Bear. As one of so many couples that struggles to get pregnant, being able to have 3 children is a blessing beyond what we thought could be ours. So today, we welcome you to our family, and we can't wait for you to run around the house sharing adventures with Shia and Oria. And we can't wait to share peas with you, which is a Kelman family favorite, to show pictures to you, to cover you with kisses and cuddles, to read books with you and hear what you think of our favorite stories. And as we look forward and plan with the humility that plans don't always come out the way you expect, that challenges have and will come, but that the deeper truth of what is coming is full of light, happiness, joy, and glory.
I guess I want to start off just saying some thanks. Thanks to God, Shalom, for. Thank you to God for all the gifts and the blessings. I think Sarah talked about how there was definitely a time where the thought of us having 3 kids was unfathomable, and we're blessed amazingly. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Sarah, for bringing Emmet Sasson in our lives and carrying him and delivering him and being such a good mom to all of our kids. Thank you to all the friends and family who are here from different degrees of far and near. Israel, from New Hampshire, from California, from New Jersey, New York. Thank you all for being here. It really makes this really, really special, so thank you. Sarah mostly covered most of the kind of the meaning of the name. There's a few there's a few other kind of parts I'll mention about his name. I think I find a lot of dimension to the name we chose for Emmet Sasson. When we chose the name, I was trying to think of some words of Torah to share, and looked at the daf yomi of the day, which was Bava Metzia daf tet. I recently got turned on to a WhatsApp group called Rabbi Johnny's Daf Words. Thank you to for the tip, and it was really something that came right off the page. It was really interesting on that daf, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the specifics, but there was an idea put out there by Rav Avahu about a person's ability to make a kinyan, to take something, to grab something, and it was kind of it's a question thought whether that's whether that's actually whether his opinion on the ability to make a kinyan is agreed, is actually concludes that it's not the halacha, and it says that V'hei divrei avahu baruta hi. And so the translation says in this statement of Rav Avahu is an error. And so Rabbi Johnny brings down that there's actually two interpretations of the word bruta. Some people read the word bruta, which means like outside. It's like an outside opinion. It's a minority opinion. And the other that some people read is beduta, which is a liar, like a lie. And so there's this discussion among the Achronim or Rishonim about the meaning of what was the word supposed to be. And one interpretation was actually somebody came and said these words in the name of Rav Avahu, and he actually never said them. And he said that in a time where Johnny started talking, said when you hear something of a law, of a halacha, you don't necessarily assume it's correct. You should kind of do your diligence and check. But more broadly, there's in this life, in this world, unfortunately, there's so much untruth. There's so much sheker. And we really hope that Emmet is going to be a source of truth and bring more light and truth into the world. And it was interesting to see that on this daf, on the day that he's born, there was this discussion that was actually a non-truth, and they talked about the Gemara.
You have to talk slower.
That is really good feedback. I'm going to try and do that on the next part of this little talk. So the name Sasson, when we went to the hospital to have our baby, we had three names in mind. Emmet was one of them, and Sasson was not. Sasson is a name that I've liked for a really long time. And as a couple will do, you bounce names off, and the other person has varying degrees of yes or no. Sasson initially didn't make the cut. And as Sarah said, we were talking about names tied to Purim, Vayehudum Hayta Or V'Simcha V'Sasson V'Yikar, so Sasson kind of fit there. What kind of pushed it over the edge was hours before Emmet was born, we saw news of a chayal who fell in Gaza. His name is David Sasson. He was 21 years old. And literally hours before he was born. And we felt really connected to the idea of carrying on his namesake and having a connection to someone who lost their life protecting and fighting for the Jewish people. And we felt like that was really important. So that was also kind of the factor that pushed Sasson over the edge. And we hope that, bringing truth into this world and letting known the kind of the difference between Tov and Ra versus Emet v'Sheker. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but understanding that some things in life, and hopefully Emet will kind of bring into the world that there are truths and there are falsehoods, and we should all strive to pursue the truths and see that, all get to the same page where we can have a better time and a better life, and a time where we're not going to have to be naming children after those who have fallen too young in their lives. Amen. So, thank you all for being here.